Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to thank you for joining us today this is March 11th, 2019. Before I begin, I would like to thank everyone who gave me a shout out for my birthday. That was very, very, very kind of you on March 8th. I can't say enough, and just thank you so much. And my birthday was very, very special, and I partied and had fun, and thank you for allowing me to take some time off the room as well. It was nice to just kind of relax and just enjoy my wonderful day. I got to see my beautiful son and give him big hugs and kisses, and I love my son Sebastian very, very much. So I just wanted to thank all of you in Awesome Calls Trading family, and of course my son, and just everything. So thank you. Anyway, the trade of the day can go to no other than the number one pick in awesomecallstrading.com, and that is Boeing. Boeing is the number one pick in the chat room, and it's for a reason. When I got up this morning and I saw the stock just crumbling down to 370, I was a buyer. I mean, there was just no ands, ifs, or buts. Now, it is unfortunate when a plane does crash, but I've traded for about 16, going on 16 years now, proudly, and I've traded through fires, storms, tornadoes, disasters, earthquakes, and unfortunately, I've traded through plane crashes. And one thing you have to look when you get a severe incident like a plane crash, the first thing you have to do as a trader is maintain your composure. And what I mean by that, you have to think from an investor's standpoint, not a panic investor, not a retail investor, but a fundamentally sound fund when you're trading stocks, okay? Such as an Oppenheimer, such as a Fidelity, such as a TD, such as an Edward Jones, such as a B of A. Now, one thing that I'm going to teach you something that no other chat room in the world will teach you. Okay, and I'm going to be real upfront with you. First of all, there was not one chat room in the morning that had the balls to go long at 370. No one. So I don't care what room you think you're in. They started going in at 375, 380, 390, when it started to make its run, because then they felt comfortable. Okay. I don't trade like that. We're the standard. Awesome Calls Trading is the standard. When we make a trade, when we make a move, people listen. When we sneeze, they got my Kleenex in their hand. You understand what I'm saying? We're the trendsetters. We're the ones that make the decision when it comes to stock trading chat room, because we're the only one on the planet's got the balls. Everyone else is running scared. Now, I think it can. It's worth watching. Maybe it could go. I'm considering. Shut the fuck up. All right? You're not in the right room. When you're in the right room, you get the guy telling you, I'd be buying at 370, room to 360, add a 350, and start buying, 390, 400 calls. I mean, let's call it a spade a spade. Okay? Why? Because Boeing's not going bankrupt. Boeing still gets its contracts. Boeing has 350 planes still in the air. Boeing didn't get grounded in the United States on that plane. But most significantly thing that I looked at this morning was, I'm going to show you right now, okay? I'm going to teach you something, especially you mods that run other rooms that just kind of steal your subscription money because you got your head up your ass. I want to teach you something. When you look at Boeing this morning, pre-market, okay, early in the morning, come all the way down here because it's obviously the play of the day. So here's 311. When you look at Boeing, when this all started to get sold off this morning, I want you to look at something very carefully that I'm doing here. You see this? 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 Guess what? There was not one downgrade on the stock. So that told me that the main players, Goldman, Bank of America, Chase, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley did not panic. And when they don't panic, AJ sees through the lines. A lot of you didn't know to do that this morning. A lot of you didn't understand the trade this morning. But there was no panic when it came to my analyst. And remember when I tell you, analysts play a crucial point when you're deciding a trade? And how many rooms don't trade analyst calls? Well, guess what? Today was a killer day to be an analyst, to understand that. And when I don't see panic and blood in the water for my analyst, okay, and you want to know how awesome it was? Huh? Do you want to see how awesome it was? Even the S&P decided to up it did instead it made a comment. It should not affect, and they retained the A rating for Boeing. Voila. Do you understand that? So the next time you get a disaster or something horrific or an unfortunate incident, take a deep breath and think like an investor. Think like a fund. Do your homework and provide the absolute best guidance you can give your chat room. But be sound, be firm, and let the traders know, don't size in. Yes, in all hindsight, could all of us traded 250, 350, 400 shares? Yeah, and we all probably would have walked away zillions of dollars. And there are some people who did in this room. But for an AJ trader, I'm cool with 100, 150. You know, I'm cool. If I get 3 points, it adds up. If I get 2 points, it adds up. If I get 3 points, it adds up. I'm a happy guy. Okay? And so Boeing was our #1 pick. Pre-market and Twitter, I said go long 370. I got in the room, add on weakness to 350. Don't be scared if it goes even lower than that. The stock will rebound. All right. And also the other thing too was the black box was recovered. I caught that early in the morning in pre-market, and that is a significant, a big part of recovering when you actually can hear what happened before the unfortunate accident happened. Again, you know, in events like this, you can't also get emotional. A lot of people won't trade events like this. They won't trade an earthquake. They won't trade a storm. They won't trade something really impact that people got hurt. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with your emotional. But for me as a day trader, for me as a trader that needs to feed my family, I have to put my personal feelings aside and I have to go after the money. And I have to go I got to pay my bills. And if I see weakness, I'm like a shark. If there's blood in the water, I'm going to go get it. And today, Boeing had blood in the water. And so today, we had significant upside, and I want you to see the stock. If you had purchased the stock at 370 and added, the stock has already hit $402.50. Now, I'm not saying you would have stayed the whole way, but you at least would have probably made at least this much. And you got to understand, this was down $52. So there was going to be some short covering, but once the shorts started to cover, the buyers started to come in. You want to see the buyers? Look at the buyers. Look at the funds. 100,000 blocks at a time. 100,000 blocks at a time. 180 to 200. The blocks were coming in. These funds were starting to pick up the funds. 250,000 shares right here on that bottom. Right? Then 250,000 more. 500,000. It's over $15 million worth of stock being bought, just swallowed up like it was nothing. And that person that bought here, all right, literally made on $1 million, on 500,000 shares, literally walked up today for their clients and made 20 points. That 500,000 made them $10 million today. I mean, think about it. Think of the size that went in this. Okay? I didn't need CNBC to tell me to buy this stock. I didn't need anyone to tell me what to do. We were the first that alerted what to do and how to trade it. And that's why we're called Awesome Calls, for a reason. So the next time a disaster hits, I will be here and I will be sound. My voice will be clear and I will let traders know what to do and how to trade it. Okay? All right. Let's do another one. So Boeing was our number one pick. Then I had to go into SRPT. All right. SRPT was just, it was a no-brainer stock. It was literally a no-brainer. And why? This morning, I believe it was Credit Suisse came in and upgraded the stock. Let me double check that so I can show you. I saw it on scan, and I also saw it was gapping up. And so what happened this morning was, if you look, SRPT, it was gapping up 3 points this morning. And I came in here and I looked and I saw Credit Suisse had raised it to $207 from $189. That's pretty significant for Credit Suisse to come out. So the stock was gapping up 3. So I already knew that in my mind, it told myself, if the stock pulls at the opening gap fills, I'm long at 130. All I had to do was look at Friday's close and say, if I can get close to that gap fill, I want to go long the stock. Okay? So I want you to see how that worked. And I said the stock would most likely hit 135. So if you look at my pre-market notes right here, I'll show them to you. SRPT right here. Gapping up 2, look for a small pop, possibly to 134, then a gap fill to 131.50 and under. Start nibbling long. If it gap fills, then it'll do a full gap. If it, what I said, if it pulls, the better the play, the upside if this gap fills. So I told traders you can nibble, but if you fully gap fill to 130 area, go long, because the stock will go to 135 today, 134 to 135. And that's where I saw the stock heading today, 134 to 135. But I originally wanted a quick pop, drop, bottom curl, 130 area, go long, 134, 135. And that's what I wanted. So I want you to see the call. Right? I want you to see how it traded out. Ready? So you got to go to Friday's close, which was 130.80. So anything in the 130 area, you see how they grinded this 129 to 130? You were safe. Your risk was 1 point. So even if it pulled, you could have added. Now I want you to look. AJ said 134 to 135. 134, 135. And hit 135.20. Trade is done. So if you never traded in your life before, never traded SRPT, you would have got SRPT at $130 today. Next stock, NVIDIA. Now NVIDIA, I'm going to tell you, this, if Boeing hadn't done what it did, NVIDIA would have been the play of the day. NVIDIA, you had to understand it. NVIDIA bought MLNX. You see this? They bought it for $125 a share. Now MLNX is a very, 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 very good company. When I came in the chat room, I immediately told everyone in the room, this is really good for NVIDIA. This is a big, big win for NVIDIA. You need to understand that. How do I know that? 16 years playing this game. Okay? You're not in a room that's traded less than 5 years. I know MLNX. I've traded for 10, 12 years. I know NVIDIA. I've traded for 10 years. Okay? You don't come in here, you know, and there's no guessing here. It's adamant. Do you want to know how adamant it was that this was going to make a move today? Look at the call. NVIDIA. NVIDIA bought MLNX for $125 a share, gapping up 4. I would nibble a few short at 154, take it down to 152 and under, then look for a little more if you can get it. But in the end, I want to long the stock because adding MLNX to the portfolio is a good win for NVIDIA. Watch for upcoming upgrades. Boom. Did I just sound like an analyst at Bank of America? Did I just sound like an analyst? That's how I think now. This is what sets this room apart from any other chat room in the world. I have become my own analyst. I have predicted the movement of stocks because I think like them. I do my homework. I do my research. I know what MLX brings to the table. And today, Nevada was going to get a big win today for buying that company. Normally, what happens when a company gets bought out, the buying company that bought the preceding company usually goes down all day. I did not think that one bit today. Not one bit. Yes, did I want to short the gap up for a couple points? Of course, I'm not stupid. But I also felt very strongly that the stock would make a solid move. And look at NVIDIA. If you had done what I told you, and you bought NVIDIA this morning, first, if you shorted it in pre-market, look, 154, 152. It hit 150. As soon as it dropped to 150, you could have covered. I immediately told the room, long, 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 long. I couldn't have said it more than 7,000 times. Long the stock. Look at it now, 162. There was no hesitation in my voice this morning what to do versus in writing, pre-market plan, to the moment I woke up and started telling everyone what to do with the trade. That's the kind of room you need to be in, that they're so sure where the stock's going to go before it goes there that they'll alert like that. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next one. Facebook. Facebook was on my list today, and everybody knows I don't really trade Facebook. And the reason is because to me, Facebook, just kind of it's kind of a tight range stock, 1 to 2 points a day. Well, today, Facebook gapped up. So again, I want to know the first reason why it's gapping up. So it closed at 169.50 on Friday, and it's gapping up a point. Why? Why is it gapping up? Well, let's take a look. So what happened was Facebook got an upgrade this morning, right? Actually, two of them. One from Nomura. So Nomura got up this morning and said, we like the stock a lot. We're going to do it. We're going to upgrade it 2 hits from 172 to 215, and we're going to raise it to a buy from a neutral. So that's what they did. So to me, on that kind of significant push, I feel confident the stock's going to pay off 3, 4, 5 points today. So as a chat room, I told everyone in the morning that I wanted to do the stock, and I wanted to go long, and I felt the stock would hit 175. So I wanted everyone in the chat room to buy 175 weekly calls. All right, that was the call this morning. Buy 175 weekly calls. The other call was if it hit 170.50 to 171, go long the stock. Stock should make a solid move. Okay, and if you look at my pre-market notes on Facebook, it was right there. Facebook. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Facebook. Oh, it's right here. I like to get a pop today to 174 to 175 today. Bi-weekly calls. If you go to 171 area, go long. Stock will go to 174, 175. Okay. The closer you get to Friday's close, start nibbling long. Don't get scared of it. The stock will rebound. And if you notice, I didn't even say the stock would gap fill because it's not. It's a significant, nice trade, Diesel. It's a significant upgrade, so you've got to give it validity, and that's what I did. Okay, so here's the trade. Ready? Facebook. Ding, 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 ding. It pulled it. Right when it hit 171.50 something, I long it. There's the buyer right there. 350,000 shares, and it never looked back. I said the stock would hit 174 to 175. Stock hit 174.30. If you bought the 175 calls, you would have done very well today. Okay. The next stock. I want you to take a look at AGXT. Small cap. Now, in our room, again, I teach traders not to, there's some of these small cap rooms that they will literally not, they don't really understand why the stock is really up. All they understand is a chart. So what they'll do is they'll go in there and they'll go short here. So they'll short, cover, and then, short, add, short, add, pull. Look how good I am. They'll do 90 trades in literally 3 minutes. And they think they're trying to teach people how to trade. And that's not what we do in here. I don't do that. All right. I'd rather a trader go in there, 500 to 1,000 shares, look for the pop at open, and an all-day fade to 170. That's it. You don't have to do 6,000 trades. What's the point? I already know where the stock's going to go. Let it rip and let it drop. And that's it. My goal is to tell you where it would cap off and where it's going to end up. Okay? My platforms don't always have the shorts available at TD and speed and all that. And it's okay. But I got a lot of traders that have the trade nets, the trade zeros, the cobras, the center points that do sometimes have these shorts. My thing was just to help somebody make a few bucks that couldn't trade a Boeing today. Okay, just because we couldn't trade Boeing doesn't mean that traders can't trade something else. So today I delivered AXGT, and I told everyone AXGT would simply be a pop and drop. So it was our number 2 pick, and I said, if this hits 250 or more, don't get scared. The stock's going to come down to 170. That's it. And that was the call. So you were going to make anywhere from 250 down to 170 with size. You didn't need to short it 1,000 times. You didn't need to do a 600 ads. Just one hit, one trade, and just relax and wait for it to hit 170. Okay? Again, 16 years of trading versus somebody who's been trading for a few years that will tell you to trade a different way. Come in here and look. There's your pop, 240, 250, right there. If it hits it, scale in short, take it down, all day fader to 170. It hit already 175. Before the close, it'll go right at 170 and under. Okay, let's do another one. Globus. This was the easiest short you could have ever do in a trading chat room. I mean, this was absolutely a no-brainer. You got a stock that's running on shippers with no news. Shippers with no news will bring the stock down. And I mean significantly down. This stock was gapping up from basically Friday's close from $6 to almost 10.60, 50% up for no reason. And when I get a stock that's up on no reason, on no news, and I've done the research, I'm shorting the stock. Again, I can't short this at my TD platform. They won't have shares, okay, especially in pre-market. Everybody's swallowing them up everywhere else. But it doesn't stop me from giving a great call to the great traders in the room that can afford to trade a $10 stock off their trade net, trade zero, their short trader, and whoever else has shorts. So the call was, when I walked in, I actually typed in the room, short GLBS. It was also our third pick. I would nibble short, look for a pull to 650 to 7. If the stock hits the 10 area again, add to your short. The stock will hit 650 and 7 and under. All right. If you get squeezed at them, please don't let it worry you. You want it to squeeze. Who cares? But this will. I wanted you to start shorting at around $9 this morning. If it hit 10, don't get scared. Just add into it. The stock will hit 650 to 7. So I want you to look at this trade. All right. I want you to look at the significance of the trade. If I tell you to start shorting, all right, and it's going to 650 to 7, trust me, it's going to 650 to 7. All right. So I want you to look at the stock. You ready? All right. So here's your pre-market. It's already up. So I want you to start nibbling short at the open around $9. If it pops to 10 or 11, add to it, have a good average, the stock will come down to 650 or under. Within the first 30 minutes, the stock hit 650. That is basically a 2.5 point trade. If you had 1,000 shares, 9,000 buying power, and you trusted my judgment, you would have made $2,500 in about 30 minutes of work on one trade, one execution, one entry, and one exit. That's it. Not add. Pull down 10 cents, clear it. No. In our room, we simply get in there, we short the stock, we add on any pop, and we just take it down to where our targets are. 7, 650, whatever we want. Okay? Very simple trade. Very easy to understand. Okay, I'm going to do one more trade for you. It's called YY. This morning, all the Chinese stocks were gapping up, and I mean all of them, and I'll show you across the board. YY was gapping up here, 77, just from 76, 78 to 76. Cena, see the gap up? I'm going to go across the board. WB, see the gap up? They're all like the same chart patterns. Okay, look at Momo, gapped up. Okay, look at Bizon, gapped up. Look at Baidu, gapped up. See all the gap ups? So it's very easy for me to read the stock. I like YY. YY had a huge run to over $80 from 71.72. I just played it last week live in the room. So today I felt YY would be the better setup for the entire room. So I told traders, look, I want the stock to pull at the open. I know it's gapping up, but it's Chinese tariffs news again. All right. So can we pull it down to 76.25 area, 76.50, and start going long, and we'll walk it back up to 80. I think the stock will hit $80 today. It should be a very easy trade, very effortless, 250 shares, go long, take 3 points, make $750. It's a very simple trade. Okay. And that was the call. So I want you to take a look what I wrote. And I really spelled this one out pretty good. YY. All right, gapping across the board, all the Chinese names. So the chat room knew what I was talking about. So I would like to see a nice move to the upside if it comes to 78.80. Top it off, gap fill it down to 76.50 and under, and go long and take it back to 80. And that's the call. And I even tell everyone, the more it pulls at the open and does and gap fills, the more I want to long the stock to $80 a share, 78 to 80. Okay, so let's take a look. So what you're telling me, AJ, is if this thing hits 76.50 at the open, I can go long. Absolutely. And you're telling me, AJ, that this will go to $80. If I buy that stock at 76.50, you're promising me this will go to 80 based on my professional trading, how I see things, how I chart it out, how I looked at it. Yes, I feel very, 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 very confident the stock will go to 80. Okay, AJ, I'm going to trust your judgment. I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to put a limit order in at 76.50 at the open. All right, so 76.50, boom, there's 76.50 right there. There's your entry, 76.50. Now you ready? I said it would go to 78 to 80. Within the first 12 minutes, you can see right there, the stock had already hit 77.90. Then it consolidated, and if you had held the stock hit $80.50. You see how simple that was? That means if you had 100 shares, 8,000 buying power, you did what I said at 76.50, you would have scored 2.5 points, 3.5 points, and you would have made $350 on one trade. And you didn't have to do anything. You didn't panic. You didn't go crazy. You didn't have to trade Boeing. You didn't have to trade Facebook. You didn't have to trade Tesla. Well, you don't even want to see my Tesla call. You just wanted it something very simple, very easy to read, very easy to understand, and just chart it out. And that's what I did. 76.50 entry, $80 exit. Now I know in closing, every day you listen to these webinars and you think, damn, you make this stuff look so easy. Do you realize that I visualize this stuff before it even happens? I actually see the big moves before they even happen. You know why? I do my homework. I study relentlessly, 18 hours a day. When I fuck up and make a mistake, I study why I made a mistake. I wasn't perfect today, but I had enough on my plate to know that even if I was wrong in 1 or 2 trades, I could have made it up in the other 10 or 11 trades. And that's what today gave us. Today was a beautiful, another game-changing world. I mean, it was just awesome. And lastly, I also want to give a shout out to my friend Andrew Left of Citron. And Andrew Left is somebody I do admire. He lives right down the street from me. He lives in Beverly Hills. I live in Bel Air. We're literally 5 minutes from each other. And, he walked in as you know, I was eating lunch at he brought his sons in and his wife in, and I was eating lunch around 5:30, and it was an early dinner. And he walked in. He came in, and I true to my word, I was sitting there, and thank you, Andrew, if you're listening to this. He walked in, and he walked right over to me, and he shook my hand, and he said, "Good to see you again, AJ." And I was like, "Wow, thank you." And as soon as he sat down, I walked over to the waitress, and I got up and I said, "I want a bottle of your best champagne sent to his table for him and his wife." And that's exactly what I did. And I sent him a bottle of champagne, and he shook my hand again and said, "You're a class act." And this morning he messaged me. He told me I was a gentleman. for doing what I did. It was great to see you yesterday, Andrew. And he said, likewise, you're a gentleman, AJ. And you know what? We're traders. And Andrew Left is an amazing trader. He's a great short seller, and he's put a lot of money in my pocket. And I admire people like that. And so, how do I admire them? I buy him a drink. I let him know thank you. Thank you for being you, because you're different. You said, you're different. And I like people that are different, people that stand out, people like myself, people that are very, very different. And I put a quote out on Friday before I took off, and I thought it was one of my best quotes that I found. And I just kind of want you to all just kind of look at this quote, and it was right here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, and I'll close out the webinar uh, with this quote. This is my quote: "No one is you, and that is your power." Remember that. You're not here to be someone else. You're not here to copy someone else. You're here to be you, and your power is within yourself. My power is within myself. No one is me. Everyone may want to be like me and try to operate the rooms like we do. But what sets me apart from everyone, every trader in the world is no one is me, and that's my power. And I hope you all think that about yourselves. Okay? All right. So that is today's webinar, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being a part of this great webinar. Then I'll be doing charts tonight. So thank you, and I will see you all on Monday. Oh, Tuesday, tomorrow, 4:30. Anyway, enjoy the pre-market notes, and I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. And if you want to be a part of our crew, just hit act right here. Boom. You can go 25 for a day, 100 for a week, 197 for a month, which is $6 a day. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Make you a lot of money. Take care.